Hi and welcome back to our Omega Show. I'm Maybeth.
I'm Evan.
I'm Gabriel.
I'm Angel.
I'm on the body.
And today we wanted to start our Omega Show by not only honoring the victims of Sandy Hook with their upcoming 7th anniversary of the mass shooting, but also the victims on these past 8 school shootings in the last week. So we're going to give them a moment of silence. We wanted to talk about how bad school shootings are. We did some research and we found out that there's been 8 school shootings in the past week for the United States. I have a list of them on my phone. Starting out with November 10th, there was 3 school shootings, one in Little Rock, Kansas, one in Memphis, Tennessee, and one in Kansas, Missouri. On the 11th, there was one in Belle Glade, Florida, one on the 14th in Santa Clarita, California, one on November 16th in San Diego, California, and the most recent is on November 17th on Fresno, California. We just wanted to say that we're sorry to all of the families and what they must be going through, and they're grieving, and we send hopefully change. In our school, we started this thing that's called Stop the Bleeding, and we are getting seminars, and they're teaching us how to stop the bleeding when wounds are, I don't know how to explain it. They just, can you say something about it, Mari, that you already went?
They just show us like how to stop the bleeding and how to use, I don't know what they're called, the
Tourniquets?
yeah, those, like how to use them and like where we can use them and
What are tourniquets?
It's like when, like, let's say when you're bleeding, there's obviously a wound.
I was gonna say,
And-
wouldn't it be like a little rope that you would
Yeah.
tie around?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a rope that you would tie to stop kind of the circulation from like flowing out of the wound. I think you apply it on top, like if
yeah,
the wound
like
is right
two-
here,
above
two or 3 inches.
2 or
of-
3 inches above the wound, so you won't bleed out. You can do it with like any, what's it
fabric
called?
or anything.
Yeah,
Tie it off with.
like you can, let's say that you have a wound, I can use my belt or like put it
Yeah.
2 or 3 inches above the wound and then obviously a cloth to subside the bleeding that already happened.
You know you have to put the cloth in the wound.
Yeah,
And
inside
you
the
have
wound.
to dig in there.
Oh god.
Yeah, it's kind of nasty.
What's it called? I know, I think in one of the shootings they said that to help a victim, because in the case that you're in this life or death situation, you know you're going to use anything you can to help a friend or help a family member, and they said they used a tampon, like to put in the wound.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're going to use anything.
Yeah.
How do you feel that you guys are graduating and this is how schools are becoming now, since you guys are all seniors?
Really, we, not just us, but like everyone needs to actually like get over their problems, and school shootings isn't the way to solve anything.
Hmm. Like most school shootings stem from the main problem of bullying, and like we just gotta enforce that more, like no bullying around, because that like as long as bullying's around, it's like, I'm not saying like bullying directly leads to it, there's other things with it like mental illness and stuff like that, but like it kind of stems from bullying, because you know the bully makes the victim feel like they're not worth anything,
Feel
and
like they're
then
threatened.
yeah,
And that
and that
sparks
messes with
something.
your head and stuff like what happens at schools.
So do you think if maybe not only students but teachers reinforce the idea of a no bully zone, that maybe school shootings would subside?
Maybe. There's
Not only
like,
that, but we need to like really enforce better gun laws, so like to reduce it.
Yeah.
What do you think that our school could do to prevent a school shooting? Because we've had quite a bit of threats, and we've only been in school for
Yeah.
a few months, like 4. So what do you think our school could do? I think we could definitely use a fence.
Oh yeah.
not for
What do you
I would
think?
just like, I'm not like, I know it kind of sounds kind of like too much, but like, monitor what people say on social media. Like,
Mm.
Oh yeah.
some of the stuff kids have said
See.
on social media.
Like
We
that.
can't necessarily do that because we
Yeah.
do need warrants to actually search through
Mhm.
people's stuff. We can't do it like
Well, then,
whenever we
like,
can.
I guess it would just be like, be careful what you say on social media then, because like, the stuff you say might tick off a
it
person.
may
in the
be
wrong way.
misinterpreted.
Yeah.
It may not.
Like what you, like the guy that threatened our football game.
Yeah.
Do you say that?
Twice.
Like,
You twice.
do you think that that was caught on time? That maybe it needed to be more monitored?
Kind of.
I think maybe we should use a filter for threats. You know,
Mhm.
look for certain words that are.
But that's
threatening.
always like the case with like when it comes to like, because you can never like on the internet really discern if it's a threat or not,
Mhm.
because you know some people are just gonna be joking, like even though it seems like messed up that they're joking about it, some people might be joking about it
Mhm.
because like
But don't you think they deserve some kind of repercussion from
yeah
the fact that
like
they're joking?
yeah
about
like
them?
they like it's not okay to make a joke like that. You should get in trouble for that, but like as long as you don't actually attempt to do it.
Mhm.
Like, I lost what I was gonna say earlier. Cause like I said, like if you're joking, like yeah, it's still a messed up joke, and like you should feel bad for it. But like, again, it was a joke. I mean, I'm not saying like jokes like that are good, but like, just don't make those like. Watch what you say.
Mhm. And why do you guys think that like is so bad from bullying that it brings you to a point where you essentially harm your classmates? Like what do you think that these people went through to go through?
Like
the
it has to be
passion?
like really bad bullying, like from everywhere, like where they just don't feel.
Not only that, but like even those little things can set them off because like you
Yeah.
don't know if like they had a bad day, if they lost a relative, or anything bad happened to them within the
You
week.
know
Their parents
what's
could have gotten divorced. You never know.
Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of students to go through anxiety and depression every day. So bullying just adds on to it.
Even if they're just joking, you don't know because like they don't know because people never say it's just a joke. It's just they just say it and then leave it at that.
Mm-hmm. People can just say something and then they don't add any other context to it, and then like that's where like okay, is he like serious or is he joking?
So why do you think some people go through with it and some people never use that as an alternative at all?
What do you mean by go through with it?
I mean, like, people will joke about it, like people with these problems, but some will never actually do it. But why do you think some people like go through?
Some people just have
But
more,
people-
have more control. Some people just,
No, they're joking.
I wouldn't necessarily say that. Just it's not something that they can control, like
Mhm.
emotionally. Some emotions and some impulses you just can't control.
Like sometimes it just slips out. Like
Like sometimes you lose control of yourself.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people might not believe in that, but it's something that all of us experience at some point. And whether it's something little we do in school or I'm not justifying it, but at least we can have some type of reason identification as to what it is.
So what do you think schools should do about it? Do you think maybe counselors should be more available? Maybe these people didn't feel like they could talk to anybody? What do you...
Really, they can talk to anyone, like close friends. It could even be someone that they don't know, or if it's make the time to actually call someone.
But sometimes people are too scared to do that. So what do you think in like a school sense?
If you notice someone that's like looking kind of down, not talkative at all, like they could be a really talkative person and like one day they're not even talkative at all, just go ask like, hey, what's wrong?
Be a friend.
Yeah, I believe the school should implement something for everyone to show the signs of people. Maybe they're having like a little bit more effects of depression or anxiety. So I think they should teach us how to see those signs.
And how to help them.
How to help
they
them.
sit up there.
The school just needs to, in a way, like make it more friendly, make it like more more to where we feel safe at our schools instead of scared every day and just not knowing what tomorrow is, if there even is a tomorrow for that matter.
So another topic we had in store for this was sex trafficking, because personally, I've seen a lot of, when you go on Twitter, a lot of
posts.
retweet so they can find my cousin or my friend or my daughter, my girlfriend, and it's really sad that lately it's been like a really true thing.
Yeah.
And
it's anywhere.
They've caught people doing that here in town too.
Yeah. It's just, how do you think you can tell when, I saw a post and it was like, this is how you can tell when someone's like being sex trafficked, and it's like, oh, well, maybe they won't look at you in the eye, but like not for a long time. Like they'll go like, but you never really know. You never really know when someone's being kidnapped, especially with little kids. When they act up in the store and their mom is just like, oh, well, shut up, and they're like, oh, stranger danger, to cause a scene. When do you think you really know that it's really a stranger? Because it's hard. What would you do in a situation like that? Because personally, I've always been scared, because I'm tiny. I've always been scared that I'm an easier target. So, are you guys scared of that? Gabriel, Angel, Kevin?
Honestly, I don't even know how to respond to this question.
I'm less scared for myself, but more of like people that if you feel like that, of course I'm going to automatically be scared for you, because this is something that we really don't have that much input in, because we're not necessarily victims, and we could be at any time, but
You never know.
But it's mainly like girls.
But it's not really just girls.
Yeah.
Some are boys too.
there's cases like every day where women are just being followed by suspicious men, cars. Kids are always being targeted within stores if they go by themselves. I know for me, I used to have to, for my mom, go to the store every day when I was a little kid, and I would kind of feel scared that, like being like such a little kid in a big store with a lot of people just around you. But we had to do stuff like that for
for me, it was I think when I was about 12, I used to walk to the store because I live right behind the store. I just had to go through the alley, right? But when I would usually go, it was either in the afternoon or at night. But it's either I would go by myself or someone to go with me. but like my parents kind of, or like it was my dad and my grandma kind of told me like stop going out during like at night because you don't know who's out there. And now that I'm a little bit older, like
It makes more sense.
yeah,
Even like a few years back, like when I was a freshman, whenever I would go into the store during the summer, you're wearing shorts, it's hot outside, and the men would just like follow me through the door. No, like follow me around the store, and it was such a scary time. Like even 2 years ago, and they know you're a teenager, they know you're in school, and they still follow you around and stare at you and try to talk to you, and it's a scary time.
I remember the other day me and you were looking at some videos and some articles about how now like they're putting, like if you get trapped in the back of your car, like in the trunk of your car, you can just, there's a handle and there's a lever that you can twist or pull that opens the trunk of the car, and then you can escape. Some are even glow in the dark.
Yeah.
So if it's dark inside of the back of the trunk, you can easily spot it, twist it, and get out. And that's what someone actually did a couple of weeks ago, didn't it?
Yeah. There was this woman, and she was just feeling around, like, you're scared. She was touching around. She didn't know what to do. She was trying to kick the headlights out, but I guess they weren't like caved in. So she found a latch, and she pulled it and just jumped out of the car into a gas station. And that's how she saved her own life.
I think I saw that on Twitter.
Yeah, that's where we saw it. Yeah, she pulled the latch, and that's been implemented in cars, I believe, since 2011. All cars made in the United States are meant to have that latch in the trunk of a car for situations like that. I think it's a great strategy to stop trafficking like that.
It's definitely a step. Of course, it's not going to necessarily fix all of the problems, but at least it's a step.
It fixed that one, and that's
it saved a life, so hopefully it can save many others too. Hopefully we can build on this momentum and figure out more ways to fix these sort of problems.
What do you guys know about that man that was caught a few years back? The one that you were talking about?
It's not really that I know much about it. It's just like whenever I'm just driving with my grandma, she's told me many times like there's like they've caught people at, I think it's like
It's always grandma's, yeah.
it's always grandma's telling you this stuff.
If you don't know about something, just go visit your grandma. I'm sure she has a lot of stories to tell you. What were you saying?
But like it's by the highway too. Like going to like the city center, like the main highway that we use. Like at that Motel 6, they've caught like a lot of people, a lot of sex traffickers there and all that. They've caught a lot of people there.
Yeah, my mom works at a hotel, and your mom does too. And
I used to.
And you used to. And they had a seminar themselves about sex trafficking and how to, I guess, not get into it, like not get, because a lot of the men that stay in the hotel, that's what they're looking for.
Yeah, I remember when I was working at a hotel, there was actually suspicious behavior over there, and they thought that an act of that was going on. And for me, I would I would just kind of go in and like clean the rooms a little bit, but it's kind of scary, like going into like a room where something like that could like be going on, and there's not necessarily anything that you can do about it. But I'm glad that they did the seminar. Sadly, I left before I could have witnessed that to see what that was all about.
Yeah, what the steps you could have taken to report it. I just think I go nowhere by myself. Like ever since I got into like the age, I guess, like 15 and older, I go nowhere by myself. I'm completely terrified by it. And like the gas station, I don't get out by myself. Like the store, I don't get down by myself. Especially Walmart. Walmart's terrible.
I know, it's too much.
I feel like that's the difference between like guys and girls these days is like a lot of stuff like y'all have to worry about that, and like for us like it's like in the back of our heads, but we don't really worry about it because like
not constantly.
Cause like let's be honest, like if someone was to like come and approach us, like we can pretty much say that we would try and put up a good fight, right? But like for girls, it's different
They
because
need to.
well,
I'm
yeah,
ready.
well,
Artie's got those.
Yeah.
I know I got those.
but like for
Fuck
girls, like y'all are much
you.
like y'all are kind of like frailer than us.
Yeah.
So like y'all can't really.
Yeah, personally, well, I'm small.
Yeah.
So it would be harder for me to put up a fight, especially because, you know, it's never a one-man job.
Mhm.
There's probably like
multiple
one
people.
there's more than one.
Mhm.
And it's just, I always think about it, and it's always so scary. Like, what would you do in that situation? Like, I don't know.
Mhm.
I read all these articles about how to escape a trunk and like how to do this, but in the moment, what can you really do?
I
You
know.
would be, like,
You're not
freaking
thinking
out.
about all those articles like step 1, step 2.
Yeah.
I would say like the most you can do is try and make as much noise as possible, you know?
Yeah, that's the scary part because I saw another video where there was this man driving around and you can hear a
Oh
woman
my gosh,
screaming.
I know. I seen that one too.
It's like, it's taken from a doorbell and one of those smart home doorbells, and it's like a fish eye view, and you can see the car enter and leave, and you could just hear a woman screaming, "Get me out of here. I need help. Someone get me out of here. Someone stop the car." And nobody is doing anything. There's people outside and nobody's doing anything.
They're just
And-
watching.
Not only the fact that nobody's doing anything, but the fact that you can clearly hear her and there's nothing being done. That nobody's calling the police, nobody's getting the license plate. The woman hasn't been found, the car hasn't been identified. And as much noise as you make, there's always going to be people that are like, "Oh, that's none of my business."
Yeah, that are too scared to like.
Because in that instance, if you saw the car passing by, what would you do? Would you try to stop it? I mean, it's a car.
And either the first thing I would do is like take it as fast as I can, take a picture of the license plate. If not, memorize it. And then, if I can, like grab the nearest object and break a windshield.
Mm-hmm.
So like they can easily identify if like I didn't get the license plate.
Yeah.
Like,
A car with a
there's a
broken-
broken window.
Yeah. It's just hard to see that, like, it's not only big cities, but small cities, you know, communities that you think are closer and safer. It's everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
And
I was gonna say that's like also like a big problem for like a lot of reasons. It's like people are too afraid, like
to say it.
you know, if you see something bad being done, you can't we all want to stand up, but like when we think about it, well, what
when
if
the
they
situation actually comes.
we don't want to stand up, but a lot of us are afraid, like, oh, what's happening to them might happen to us, so that's why a lot of people don't really do anything about it. It's
Well,
like fear, like, what's going to happen to us, like, we might have helped them, but what's going to happen to us now?
Yeah, like, there's this case, her name's JC Dugard, I think, and she was in the same home for, 14 years. She was kidnapped, walking to her bus stop, and or walking home from her bus stop, something like that. And she was kidnapped for around 14 years. She had 3 kids from the man she was kidnapped by. And during the time she was in there, the man started a company and she worked for him. I mean, she was in the phone for him with various customers, and you know she had the chance to be like, "Hey, I'm JCD Dugard, like, get me out of here. I've been kidnapped. I've been here 10 years. But she never did because you're so scared. So if you're scared yourself and people outside are scared, what can you ever do? You know, it's just scary to think about it. I'm glad that there is threads going around though, like the threads where they tell you what to do, and that there's like pepper spray and little tasers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that safety is being put up and it's being regarded more.
Yeah, me too. And this whole conversation about the sex trafficking and as well as the school shootings was very informative. I hope y'all could have got something out of this too.
I can say for myself that I did too, but that's cutting up on our time here. Our second Omega show, I believe. I'd say it was a success. What would y'all think?
Pretty good.
So stay tuned for more. We'll keep you updated on any more information that we have. This is Angel signing off.